All right, what's up, guys? So, another episode of What Sold. We're gonna go over like what sold from yesterday, which today isn't too many, and then we'll go through the rest of my admin work, just like all the other episodes. This mainly just so that you can see the good, routine that I'm always on. First thing I wake up first thing in the morning. I do make myself a cup of coffee first, and then I'll get straight to doing the admin work that I have, and I'll show you the page that I have. Hold on one second. There I am. Okay. Now, what we're going to do first is we'll go over this. This is my admin work, and this is the everyday part. This is where we do the seller board sales. We'll update. We don't really have to update anything because we already take care of that down here in the after the shipment is confirmed on seller board. But we do need to update our spreadsheet. So we'll hop over here to seller board. Seller board, if you don't know, it's just a accounting tracker pretty much, and it's real time sales. So as soon as you get a sale, you'll see it here, and it breaks it all down for you from your sell to estimated payout to your net profit and everything. So super valuable. Um, I got one book sold yesterday, and it's this one right here. And but I got two other books here that has did something yesterday. Um, and if we can see that I got zero sales on it, so that's definitely not a sell. So we've come over here, we'll see that I got negative 19.99, and $0 estimated payout. So that tells me that this one they probably deemed it as unsellable, and currently, since I'm moving, I have everything being disposed of, so they're probably going to dispose of this, unfortunately, which is a complete loss for me, which sucks. But it is what it is right now. That's the situation I'm in. Now, this one's strange though. We have it at we got $0 sales, so it's like okay, probably return. Um, but we also have this right here, which is it says estimated payout. So right here, if it was unfulfillable, we we got $0 here because it didn't get returned right now. When the customer returned this one, I would see refund right here, and that's whenever they would pull out this 19.99. Actually, the payout of it. So that would they would pull that already out of the right here, the payments area. They would already pulled it out. So nothing is really happening here. They're just pretty much telling me like, hey, this is unfulfillable, so we're removing it from your inventory. Um, but here they're actually pulling out 3318 from my payouts area, and that's strange because this got returned a while ago, or actually it didn't, but it looks like it got returned a while ago. So let's look into it a little bit more. By coming over here to more, we'll bring this down, and it says compensated clawback. And it's like, what in the world is compensated clawback? Nice thing is you can hover over it and Amazon will actually tell you. And so it says Amazon lost your inventory and compensated it to you, then found the inventory again and charged you. So this is charge is the compensated clawback. So as it says, they lost it, then they found it. They lost it and they compensated me, and then they found it, and they're pretty much saying, hey, we found it, so we're gonna uncompensate you for it, which sucks. But I mean, at least we got a chance to sell it, I guess. Again, but anyways, what we usually do is I'll take the title of this, then I'll hop over to my Google Sheets. What was it? Oh, it was 2024. Google Sheets of 2024. I'll take this right here, and as soon as it loads, we'll put Control F on this one, throw in the title here, and pop it up. I always like to make sure that my COGS does line up, $22. So yeah, everything lines up with that. Just because sometimes I make a mistake. It happens. No matter how on point I am. All right, so we got it sold for 99. We put the date sold here. That way it tells us how many days from the day that we purchased it to the day that we sold it took. So it took us 177 days. We sold it for 99, and then we have an estimated payout of 78.71. So hop over here, 78.71. There we go. And you can see that we made $53 on this. That's really good. This is a really good book. It only took us 177 days, not very long, and we made $53 on it. So that's pretty good. And if you're wondering, so this is the net profit, and this is what they're going to deposit into my bank account. But this is what's actually important, the net profit number. You can make, as Joji and Victor were going over the BookMine class the other day, they were saying that they went to Miami Sellers Conference, and all these wholesalers, all these traditional OAers, they've got millions of dollars in those gold bars, but their net profit is like 8%. You know what I'm saying? But on this one book, my margin is 57%. So that's the difference between selling books and doing wholesale or traditional OA or whatever, is the percent of profits that you get. And you can see that like even though I made crazy good margins on that with returns and stuff, I'm still not making a whole bunch of net profit. But imagine if I had to buy this book at, I don't know, say $79 instead of $22, then my margins were 8%. That changes a lot of things. That makes my net profit go from 56 down to what, I don't know, I can't do the math in my head right now, but down to like $6 instead of $56 of profit. So that's the difference between starting a very small margin business compared to this one. This one, it's hard to find a business that you can actually make those margins. But anyways, I don't think there's going to be much we need to do with these, but I'm going to check them anyways. Like this one, it got returned a while back ago, and I should have already removed it, the sales and everything, but we'll go ahead and double check my work. And yep, I've already removed everything from it, so that's the return's already taken care of. We'll come back here. And the thing is about book selling, especially what Victor likes to say, is like this book, they returned it and they're deeming it as unsellable, but it's most likely just fine. It's just a used book. But I think Amazon just doesn't want to take the risk of sending a bad book in or something whenever it might be just an acceptable book. But yeah. Okay, so the next one, as I showed you earlier, is it's a clawback payment, which Amazon's just taking it back from being stranded. And you can see that on my spreadsheet, I put here warehouse damage. So they have given me this amount of money right here for proceeds, and that's what I shouldn't even I put a random price there for sale price, but I shouldn't have put anything there because this is what they gave me for losing that money or that book. But now they've found it, so they're taking it back. I'm going to remove this all here because now it is back in my inventory. I'm just going to bring that down and zero everything out. So everything's back to normal now. We've got everything on for today is updated on the admin sheet as like I've updated everything for the media purchase of the spreadsheet side. So now we're gonna go to the updated stranded inventory, which I don't think I have anything. Yeah, look, 0 actions, so everything should be updated. This I've struggled to figure out like how to handle stranded inventory for a while because it felt like I was building. Oh no, I haven't been showing my screen, or have I? I don't know when that happened. I'm sorry if I haven't been showing my screen. Anyways, I've been building up um, my inventory. Let's see here. Sorry. All right, that distracted me. Anyways, um, yeah, I don't think it happened very long. Anyways, whenever it came to stranded inventory, I felt like I was building up a castle of sand, and then the tide comes in and just washed it away. So it felt like I was never really gaining any progress. Um, so we got this one, but this one sold recently and now it's removed. I don't know if that's like why that is the way it is, but it's whatever. Um, but yeah, so we have nothing really to do for the stranded inventory side of the admin work. And then eBay sales, because I'm moving, I'm actually removing all of my eBay products and either like probably most of them I'm shipping them into Amazon. But I'm also um, I'm stopping eBay sales for a while because I've picked up a job where I'm cleaning pipelines and fixing them and stuff. So I'm going to be traveling a lot more, and unfortunately that means that I'm not going to be able to do as much eBay sales. So I'm going pretty much completely online now. Um, so we're skipping that. We're not gonna do eBay sales anymore for a while at least. Now we're gonna go to Update Prep Center. So for my prep center, I use Central Virginia Prep. They have this right here, the bookstore, or sorry, the book spreadsheet for me. And pretty much all I do for this, you need a checkout process um, or check in process. If you don't, you're going to be hemorrhaging money. Um, I found it to be like quite a bit of money, but it varies obviously. But every time you purchase a book, if you don't check it in, there's going to be some books that don't show up. There's going to be some books that show up in horrible condition, and so you need a check-in process. So this is my process for the prep center. Obviously, if you're getting it shipped to you, once you receive the book, you just check it in. But I'll take the title of that, and then I'll come over here to the 2025 spreadsheet. I'll throw this in, and then we got 5, 9, 25. Boom. So that one's checked in. Move on to the next. 5, 9. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, that's right. Paste. We got 5, 9, 25. Yeah, I didn't do this for the longest time, and I started like trying to figure out like where is this book? Where is that book? I can't find this book. And since I didn't have a check-in process, there was no like knowing where they were at. That was a big issue that I had to figure out, because it when you lost a book and you have no way of checking, and you don't check it in, you have no way of really looking back at your information and knowing like, okay, it never showed up. So I need to figure out how to do this. But whenever I would figure it out, it would be months later. It would be like, oh no. Because if there's no check-in process like this, then you don't have like a 2025. As you can see the check-in column here. As you scroll up, like this one, actually got a return, so I need to update that. And then all of the ones that are in, you know that they're good. But if this one's blank right here, you're like, oh crap, what happened to this one? I need to figure out where this one's at. And then you keep going up. And then of these ones that are out here are already marked them as returned, like that one. But you can see where it's easier to just notice and see like what stuff you need to look into and be like, well, where's this one at? And then you just do that at least once a month. I've got it to where obviously I do it once a week. That way, nothing really gets past that month area, because if you let it get past that month area, that's whenever things get harder to return. Sometimes Amazon's pretty good at letting you return things, but every now and then it gets to that point where some sellers won't do it. I think it's 2 months, maybe 3 months, where you can request a return. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that there's a cutoff point where they won't let you request a return at some point. That's why I just do it every week. That way it's not an issue. All right. Now, the everyday process for the admin work is done. Now, today is the 10th. So the 10th, I do my accounting. Every 2 weeks, I do accounting on the 10th and the 25th. That's just kind of just random dates. You can pick whatever dates you want, but the 25th matters because if you go, you can't really do it at the very end of the month because every month is different. Or, some end on the 30th, some end on the 31st, 29th, yada yada. So I just picked the 25th. But I'll go through and I'll pay off my credit cards today. Every 2 weeks, I set them all to 0. That way there's no issues. Every 2 weeks, I'll transfer money around. So like I have all my money go into one bank account. And then on today, I'll go to that bank account and I'll spread it out to all of the accounts that need it. That way, I have one income account and then it goes to everything else. Update expenses on seller board. All my expenses are on one credit card, so I'll just open up the expenses on there or the charges on that credit card, and I'll come in here to the expenses tab on seller board, and I'll update this right here, so you can see like this month. Central Virginia Prep, it's a one-time deal, so you're not going to be able to it just varies every time they charge you depending on how many books you send them, so that always varies. I got my ChatGPT, Next Insurance, and then this one right here, I messed up pretty bad. Had no idea that I needed to go in and do the sales tax to 0 every single month for Virginia. I had no idea that was a thing. So I actually added that process on my admin work. File use tax for Virginia, $0 once a month. So every time on the month I'll do that. They charged me several months for late fee, and that's what that $50 is with 10. So it's annoying. But anyways, Bookmine, A2X, and QuickBooks. These are my 2 accounting softwares, but this is actually higher. I need to increase that. I don't know why it changed. It's actually 65. But anyways, so right now I'm at $497, and I don't think I need to add anything. I'm pretty sure I've already updated everything for the month so far, at least. So I'm doing pretty good. Last month I did $724 in all my expenses, so not too bad. And then I'll go through and consolidate all the expenses on QuickBooks, and A2X is just like a software that it updates all of the Amazon charges, like fees and all that, to QuickBooks. So that way my tax guy doesn't have any questions about like what are these fees, what is that, So I'm gonna do that today. I would show you, but there's a lot of sensitive information when I'm going through this, so I don't really know exactly like what I should and shouldn't show type of thing. But yeah. So that's pretty much it for the admin work. After I get my admin work done, I will come in here, and as you can see, I've got several Keepa alerts. I have been cleaning them up a lot. Like this Pet Cemetery, I'm pretty sure it's not really a good book. but I'll click on here and I'll look at it. I've been kind of changing my tracking a little bit just to only show like mainly like seasonal books. Seasonal books is my main go-to right now for tracking. Just because I mean we're in May right now, so high school and then the Christmas and textbook seasons are coming up. But yeah, see this one, like unless I'm taking advantage of the buy box, which I am not going to do that, it's not really a great book. It does look like it pops up every now and then, but it's definitely not a consistent one, so I'm not gonna track that bad boy. Get that out of here. Mushrooms of Colorado. This one I've sold before and for quite a bit, I'm pretty sure. I've recently bought it on January 8th, so definitely don't want to pick up another one. But I am going to untrack it unless I've already sold it. If like a book like this, having one in inventory is all you need. If you can count the amount of sales drops, don't I wouldn't go more than one deep, because this book may sit for a while in your inventory, and there's 19 people on it. It's not something I'm tracking for sure, but I'm gonna see, or no, I'm not, because my address is on there. No, it's not. Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Sorry. So I'm pretty sure that I have already, or do have one of these in stock. So I'm just gonna untrack it. Come back over here. The Art of Conducting. I have bought this one recently. How many though did I buy? I'm pretty sure I bought a decent amount. What we'll do is we'll just take this. So we're not going to show my address this time. And we'll just throw this in here. And we've only got one in stock. And I think this is like a seasonal thing. Definitely a seasonal thing. Looks like college seasonal. Pops up to the hundreds quite often. And we're able to get it for 50. We've purchased it for 48 in the past. Is it at 50? Is at 57? So let's put it at 50. That way we don't get dinged all the time for it. And once it does go back down to 50, I'll be happy to pick that up. That. And I was just looking at this one. I know that I picked up a couple of copies of this the other day. But what did I pick it up at? Looks like we might be able to get for $38.80. This is definitely a seasonal book. Yeah, see, it picks up in September. A little bit in January, but not near as what September does. Looks like the offer count is way higher than it was previously, so I'm going to be a little cautious on picking up a whole bunch of copies. Because this book does sell very well, but at the price that I want it, maybe not so much. So right here at 126, it went up to like 121, and it got up to 126. So now that it's at 40, I can expect it to be quite a bit less. It still could get it sold for close to the 100 mark, but not guaranteed. Looks like I picked it up for 42.26 recently at 99. It's still a pretty good book at 42.26. And right now I can pick it up for 38.80. I think I bought 2 copies of this. It's acceptable though. Here we can get it for 39.18. 39.18. If it'll load. 99. Let's see how many we bought so far. I'm pretty sure just 2 of them. Yeah, see. Oh. 2 days ago, we bought 2 of them. So, bring all that down. So, I mean, at 42 since, let's see, where are we at? Since the offer count's rising so much, it makes me a little nervous to buy anymore. I don't want to be stuck with a whole bunch of them. So we'll pause on it and we'll see what happens. I don't want to go too deep into it, but yeah, that's that. I do want to track this bad boy though that we have right here. Because we made 50 some dollars on it off of spending $22, and it's out of print. That tells me, man, this book sells like never. I don't know if I want to track it. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna track this. If it pops up on BookMine or Sellerboard, or sorry, or on Keepa, then I'll pick it up. But probably not gonna do that. All right, we'll end it there. All the links for the tools are in the description. I got Sellerboard link down there, Seller Amp link. I do suggest Sellerboard. It's not, per se needed, but it's hard to know where your profits are and stuff, because that's the real number that matters. Like I was saying, if you're chasing gold bars and not knowing what your profit is, or knowing that you're getting less than 10% profit, you're not doing the greatest unless you're spending a ton of money. If you're making less than 10% of profit, you're needing to spend a lot of money in order to actually make a good business, and if you're like me, at least, I'm sure that there's some booksellers out there like me. I don't have a whole lot of money, I'm still working a job, I'm not raking it in and just spending it all on inventory. I'm putting what I can in and trying to get out as much as I can. And this is the business to do that. So, but thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.